Leverage. In this topic, we're going to understand the power that leverage has on your trading account. In order to understand this, let's take an example. Let's say maybe you deposit $100 in your trading account. By understanding certain factors like your lot size, your volume, and your pip value, we can then convert the same $100 into pips so that we can understand how much pips you have to work with. E.g., we know that a 0.10 is equivalent to 10,000 units, or in pip value equivalent to $1 per pip, which would mean that a 0.01 should then be 10 cents in pips. Our 0.10, we've already discussed it, it's $1 per pip, and then a 1,00 standard lot would then be $10 for each pip. And this is what it would mean. By understanding the pip value, so let's put the PV. By understanding the pip value, we know that if we use the specific lot sizes, they will affect how many pips we have or how many pips we need to cover to double an account. E.g., in this case we have $100, we're using a 0.01. This would mean that if I calculate it here, we'll then take $100 divided by the pip value, which is a 0.10, so that's 0.10 equals 1,000, which means that this account will go for 1,000 pips before you blow it. Or if you go 1,000 pips in profit, it means you'll make a double of what your account is, so you'll have $200 in your trading account. But if you use a 0.10, which pip value is $1 per pip, this means that the same $100, so we take 100, we divide it by 1.00, which is basically 1, equals 100, which means that your account only has 100 pips. So if you go 100 pips in profit, you double your account. If you go 100 pips in negative, you'll blow that account. And if you use a 1.00 standard lot, which is then $10 for every pip, that same $100, so we're going to say $100 divided by 10.00, which is basically 10, equals 10. So this means you only have 10 pips to work with. So if you go 10 pips in profit, you double that account. If you go 10 pips in negative, you've lost that account. So you start understanding that actually the only control that I have in the market is the lot size that I use, because the lot size affects how much margin I have and how much money I can potentially make, right? At this point, you start understanding that with great risk comes great profit. With great profit comes great risk. So let's be a bit more practical. Let's take an example. Let's say this time around you decide that we're going to deposit $20 in your trading account. So you're trying to figure out what's better. Is a 1-to-1 leverage enough, or is a 1-to-50 the best leverage, or is 1-to-100 or 1-to-500 the best type of leverage? So we're going to take this same $20, we're going to apply it to this 4 different types of traders and see how it will affect their trading. Now, before we move on, let's say maybe you're looking into trading the United States dollar against the Canadian dollar and you're looking for a buy position, which means you're a bull and you're making money as the charts move upwards. So you only make money if the chart goes up. But the important thing here that we have to notice is that we spoke about volumes, and volumes state that a 0.10 would then be 10,000 units. Okay, this units actually refer to the currency that you're trading. So in this case, we're trading the USD because we're buying. So the units that we're looking for are the dollar units, which means if I use a 0.10 to buy USD CAD, I would need to acquire 10,000 units of the United States dollars. So if I decided to sell, I'll put a little star there. So if I decided to sell instead, this would mean that I had to acquire 10,000 units of the Canadian dollar, for instance. But we're not selling in this case, so this really doesn't matter at this point. The important thing now here is that we understand that we're in a buy position, the units that we need are in dollars, and that's the amount of money that we actually need to enter a trade. Okay, so trader number one is leveraged 1-to-1, which means that for every dollar he has or she has, we're going to give them $1 back, which means we're going to take $20 multiplied by 1. This would give you a total of 20 USD units. Alright, so I'm just going to put units here, but you know that they dollar units because we buy. Okay, trader B has a leverage of 1:50, so the same $20 will be amplified by 50. So all we have to do here on the calculator is 20 multiplied by 50, and that gives us 1,000. That's 20 times 50, so that's the leverage. This gives you 1,000 units. Alright, trader C has a leverage of 1:100, which then simply means that for every dollar he has $20 multiplied by 100. This would give you a total of 2,000 units. Alright, we'll punch it into a calculator and see the difference. So it's 20 times 100. Alright, that gives you, I just said 1,000. 20 times 100 gives you 2,000. Okay, then trader D has $20 multiplied by a leverage of 500, which will then give you 20 times 500. That gives you a total of 10,000 units to work with. Okay, so they're all dollar based. So you've got 20 here, you've got 100 here, you've got 2,000 here, you've got 10,000 units here. So same $20 account, but because of the leverage, it has different amounts of space or margin, if you look at it that way. So since I'm buying, let's say maybe I'm buying for let's use a lot size of a 0,01 for instance. This would mean that the volume there is 1,000 units at minimum, so I should be able to have 1,000 units of whatever currency that I'm buying. So clearly trader A doesn't have 1,000 units, so the MT4 is going to tell him no, you don't have money, so the trade won't activate for trader A. Okay, but trader B with the same $20 has 100 units. He needs how much? How many? He needs 1,000 units. He still doesn't meet the requirement, so trader B is also going to be told you don't have enough money. Right? For trader C with the same $20 multiplied by the leverage of 100 has 2,000 units, which means now he can actually qualify for the 0.01. Right? He can even go for 2 trades even. So he can go for the first trade, use up 1,000 units and still have 1,000 units left. So in total they can go for 2 trades before the MT4 tells you you don't have money. Alright, now trader number D has a total of 10,000 units, so he can place 10 trades here with a 0.01 before the MT4 tells him, whoa, you don't have enough money. So basically the biggest lot size that could be used by trader C is a 0.02. The biggest lot size used by trader number D is a 0.10. And that's all it basically means, that every lot size affects how much money you actually have. So after you understand volumes, it then makes sense why you need a bigger leverage to trade a smaller account. Alright, now basically leverage is a double-edged sword. Okay, for a guy that has a low leverage like your 1:50, they won't be allowed to overtrade, because before they get to a point where they're overtrading, they're already out of money because their units are lower than someone that has a leverage of 1:500, right? Because they have all the units in the world, so you can use them up as you want. So the problem is that trader D, if they decide or they don't have self-discipline, they're going to end up blowing this account quicker, versus trader B, who is then forced to be disciplined because the platform won't allow them to take any more trades. So I hope I explained it properly. I hope I've given you what leverage is, a clear understanding of what leverage is and how it works on your trading account. Alright, so obviously a guy with higher leverage can trade bigger lot sizes on a small account versus someone with a small account and a low leverage, that the MT4 will tell them, listen, you don't have enough money, you're not leveraged enough for this. So brokers offer a wide range of leverages. We offer everything all the way up to 500. So check it out, see if your leverage works for you. Please leave me your comments below. Let me know how hard this sauce was. Was it mild? Was it extra hard? I don't know, man. Just let your boy know. Leave your comments below. And if you feel like I should add something, also leave the recommendations below. Till the next video, peace.